Greetings, wise ones. This is Melissa from 8th House Wisdom. I'm back with the July recording of the Universal Laws video series. And this video, we're going to be talking about coronavirus and the law of non-resistance, which is a really powerful thing for us to be focused on. And so none of us really thought that we would be in the house from March to August. But here we are. And it's really important for everybody to use this time to download important information that will help us to be able to thrive and be successful after we come out of quarantine. So this particular law and video is going to speak to that. Per the norm, I'm going to start off by reading what the law of non-resistance says. And this is the law of non-resistance according to Bob Proctor from Proctor Gallagher Institute. And the law of non-resistance says, every thought has a frequency. The less you resist on something, the less it will exist. By devoting less attention towards fighting the unwanted thoughts and conditions, you will find that problems that you face become less and less pervasive. In pursuing success, you'll encounter resistance along the way. By not focusing on the resistance, you'll eventually achieve the success that you want. And I think that that's really poignant and on time because my work as an astrologer, a psychotherapist, and as an intuitive reader all focus on working with people and helping them through their conscious and subconscious resistance. During this period of time where the landscape around what's safe, what we're able to do, how that works is changing quite often and frequently, people really feel that it's important to stay in a space of knowing. But the law of non-resistance is really asking us to focus really intently on what we're going to spend our knowing energy on, so to speak. For some of us, we want to know more about the things that we're worried about so that we can plan for our safety and keep an eye on that to stay safe. And then there are others of us who want to spend more time knowing our dreams, knowing what we're going to manifest after this period of time, and dropping into that space to nurture the idea in our quiet moments so that we can potentially see that come to life post-quarantine. As the law is written here, those of us who are focused on what's happening with testing and what's happening with the new vaccine and when we're going to get out of the house and all of the statistics around who's dying, where we're at, and those things, we actually are invoking exactly what we don't want. Notice how all of these laws roll together because it sounds a lot like the law of attraction. The focus on what we don't want, aka what we're trying to resist, ends up strengthening the energy and the potency of that. It's as if we are putting out a universal rebel yell call saying, please bring me more personal, highly specific examples of the destruction that is happening in my life because that's the very thing I'm trying to stay away from. And that's really the exact opposite of what we're trying to achieve in knowing, quote unquote, more about this. We feel like knowledge is going to give us power, and it does. but understanding aspects of, in particular, how the law of non-resistance works, that's really what pushes us and should push us to stay focused more so on happiness and desire. Thinking about all the wonderful things that you're going to drop back into and how much of a great time you're going to have when being social again is preferred and easy to do, when you don't have to make additional plans around our safety, being outside, and things of that nature. That's the space that we want to drop into. Coronavirus in and of itself is resistance. I'm thinking about seniors, the seniors who just graduated at the end of spring, somewhere between May and June, many of whom are actively looking forward to the next phase in their life. Prom and graduation and all of those things had to be shifted because that's not what's safest for us in the world right now. And they're also now being faced with, on their journey to success, potentially having what they thought would be their first year as a college freshman from a virtual standpoint. So all of that thought and potential about leaving home and what that will be like and what that journey is going to be and how I'll be able to test myself out, kind of with no training wheels, that's had to shift. It really echoes what we're talking about in terms of in the pursuit of success, you are going to experience resistance. We all are. But it's about how you move through that resistance. And we want to activate aspects of opposition. So if the resistance is, I've got to be at home and I'm going to be doing more of this online shit, which some people are happy about or some are not, staying focused on for too long, because I am not suggesting you shouldn't drop down into the feeling of loss and allow yourself to experience it. It's only dropping down into that state that you're going to be able to move through it. But constantly and obsessively remaining focused on all and listing and rehearsing all of the things that are being taken away from you. Constantly and consciously staying focused on that resistance will draw more of it into your space. Since the resistance has already been pronounced and announced, and you're having to respond to it, it's a known entity. Our role and our position in order to get beyond what we're dealing with and move into a space of greater potentiality is to focus on what we do want to be happening, even if it's not showing up in our environment right now. And it is through the focus and nurturing of an idea whose time has yet to come that we will see that hasten in a more rapid fashion. The success that you are looking for wants you. We are living in a space where, again, a dream is deferred, not denied. And accepting that cognitively is one thing, but working through the law of non-resistance is the way in which we accept that emotionally and into our heart space. Breathing deeply into that space of acceptance of what is allows you to then devote, as the law says, it allows you to devote less attention towards fighting the unwanted thoughts and conditions. When we're not fighting almost the indefeatable, because right now coronavirus is going to do what it's going to do until it stops. We've got people working actively on this. We've got prayers and positive energy going up. But that will resolve itself when it resolves itself. Throwing your energetic lot into that is not going to keep you any safer. Focusing on what you want, which is the opposite of the resistance that's showing up in your space, is the key to being able to really and truly experience the positivity that can be during this time. This can feel like a joyless, complete pause on life, but I think it is really just an invitation to spend a significant amount of time visiting our inner world, which is something many of us Westerners don't get an opportunity to do on a regular basis. So instead of focusing on the pause in what you hope to be your favorite TV show, let's turn inward and think about how press play has been kind of activated on exploring the deep and richness, the deep and rich kind of space that is in our inner world, and getting to know this and really savor it. Because once we press play again on real life, everybody's going to be missing this time. So I hope that since we are more than 120 days into this thing, we're getting more of our land legs, and that this lands at a place with you where you can utilize what I am saying and activate that vibration within yourself. If you need some help or support in doing that, check out my website to get a download of your natal chart or your current transits, so that you can take a look at astrology for the beauty of the fixed system that it is. It will be heralding potentially some great things for you to look forward to that are incontrovertible. They're going to happen whether Corona is here or not. And sometimes we just need a little injection of some guaranteed positivity to move us into that space. So I'd like to leave off right here, wishing everybody lots of light and love. Take care until I am back next month with August's installment.